Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be: Am I seeing her too much? Am I too available? Well, this particular email, this guy's kind of got the opposite problem that the majority of guys have when they first start dating a girl. In this case, he's been through 3% Man 15 times. And he's been following me for several years. And so he's pretty familiar with what to do and when to move forward, when to back off, that kind of thing. And so recently met a girl on the Hinge dating app. And so they hooked up on their first date. And in the first week, they had 4 dates and 6 sessions of the indoor Olympics, all in 7 days. I think a couple of the days were just like where she reached out, wanted to see him, and came over for the booty call. So she really likes it. It must be good dick because she's coming back for more. And so now he's like, man, she's doing 100% of the reaching out, but that's probably the first time he's ever seen somebody that much in the first week. You know, four dates in 1 week when you just met and fucking like rabbits. There's also a good chance that she just had a breakup, and so she's trying to get over, and you could potentially be the rebound, but you have to understand that if she did just have a breakup, the guy's probably still in the background, and he in the weeks coming forward, especially when you spend a lot of time together quickly, expect, especially if there's an ex that she just broke up with, you should expect a pullback, even when she's doing 100% of the contact initiation, which is, if you're following what's in the book, that's where you're trying to get there. Because if you follow what's in the book and you're dealing with a normal, healthy woman, within 3 to 4 weeks, she'll be behaving pretty much like this girl is, where she's calling and texting multiple times a day, and you just be together just about every other night. So that happens naturally. So it's happening a lot quicker with her. So maybe she's just super into him. Maybe it was the right time in her life, but it's also possible that she just had a breakup, and so she's kind of on the rebound a little bit. Or she may just be incredibly insecure. And so she'll be hot and heavy and then kind of be all over the ice. But so far, and then one thing he did say was in his email is that she seems to have a really good relationship with her father. It's one thing to have a good relationship with her father, but does she respect her dad? Does she love her dad? Does she admire him? Does she look up to him? Does she respect his authority? Or is she used to always, in other words, is dad a pushover? Does she always get her way? If he says no to her or doesn't want to do what she wants, does she just nag him until he gives in? Because that's not a healthy situation if that happens. Then what a girl learns with a father like that is that you can basically get men to cave. All you got to do is kind of be manipulative, and he'll give in to what you want if you nag him enough, or if you keep asking him enough, or you keep bringing him up enough. It's kind of like that. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And eventually, it's just to get her off your back, you go along with it. So you got to pay attention to those things. Because I've done a lot of phone sessions over the years with guys who are like, oh, she has a great relationship with her father. And then when we get into what the relationship is actually like, you find out the dad is soft, he's a pushover, he's a beta male, none of the women in the family respect him, the wife doesn't respect him, they all kind of walk all over him. They pretty much nag and complain until he's just like, oh, fuck it. We'll just do what you guys want. Leave me alone. That's not a good situation. Because women that are raised by men that behave that way, then that's how they're going to behave with you. And so when you say no, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, oh, but please, come on. It's just always something to try to get you to change your mind. It's just not easy. It's difficult. If they don't respect the father, they typically don't respect men in general, and they're extremely difficult. They won't respect your authority, and it'll be a pain in the ass. So with those little tidbits in mind, let's go through the email. Hi, Coach Corey. Thanks for all you do. I'm probably somewhere around the 15th read of your first book, and I probably watch 1 or 2 videos of yours a day, at least 5 days a week. And that's been true at this point for a couple of years. Well, it sounds like somebody that's a serious student. I matched with a woman on Hinge about a week and a half ago. We exchanged just enough messages to where I felt like we had established enough rapport to meet in person, So I set a date, and she agreed, and we met for that date a couple of days later. The date went extremely well and ended with Indoor Olympics back at her place. Well, she obviously liked him. She felt safe and comfortable to the point where she invited him right over. So that's a credit to the man that studied the book. Good students usually get laid on the first date. The date went extremely well and ended with the Indoor Olympics back at her place, but even before we had the first date, she asked me to go to a comedy show at Joe Rogan's Comedy Club, which I think is called the Comedy Mothership. So it'd be in Austin, Texas, at the very end of that same week. I know, since it was her idea, that there's nothing inherently wrong with that. This is correct. It's her idea. If she's bringing it up, if she's asking you to do it, that's fine. But it does strike me as unusual given we hadn't actually met in person yet. Well, she's either really super into you and you just do it for her, or she may be on the rebound. And if she is on the rebound, expect hot and cold behavior. Expect a pullback in the coming weeks. So you can't take it personally. You can't freak out about it. Just understand, if she's fresh out of a breakup, she may all of a sudden go cold on you because she's probably talking to the ex still, because that's not completely resolved. So these are things that are detailed in the book, things to expect. That's why being easygoing, easy to get along with, being calm, indifferent, and not freaking out is the best way to behave. After the first date and before the comedy show, she asked me to come over to her house 2 other times. In other words, she's like, hey, how about a booty call? Ending the week with 4 dates and 6 sessions of the Indoor Olympics. So they had 4 dates and 2 booty calls, basically, it sounds like, which I think is great. Good for you, dude. And I'm letting her do virtually 100% of the contact initiation, and you should keep it that way. Because where guys go wrong in these situations is she's doing 100%, and then a pullback happens within a few weeks, and then the guy starts chasing. I haven't heard from her in 4 or 5 days. Usually every day she's calling me. And then what happens is the other guy's back in the picture because she's still not completely over it, and then she's going to kind of put you in the back burner while she tries to figure out if the ex is going to work or not. And so if she's, I don't know my schedule, or works crazy, and she just tells you how busy she is, and just say, hey, well, when you figure it out, get in touch. Because as the book says, if you don't hear from her for a week, then you reach out to do the once a week thing when you first start dating. Obviously, that doesn't apply if you're in a get an ex back situation, but in this particular case, this is somebody brand new that he just started dating. So if all of a sudden he doesn't hear from her for a week, then he'll reach out and try to set a date. So 4 dates in a week obviously is a lot, but except for the first one, everything was initiated by her. Well, so far so good. That's textbook, bro. Tells me you've been a good student because you understand that. And this is why you read it 10 to 15 times, so you can get those little subtle nuances. So when a woman does something and she comes on really strong like this one is, you know how to handle it. Aside from that, she doesn't seem needy or insecure, which would be my first guess, nor has she asked me to be her boyfriend or anything like that. And every get-together we've had has been very seamless, drama-free, and fun-filled. So far, so good. But again, it's only a week. So we don't have enough data for our analysis to make a determination of just yet. But because it's rolled out so quickly, I thought I would get your take on things. Other pluses include a great relationship with her dad and a great relationship with her ex-husband, who they share a kid together with, and that ex-husband's current wife. So I don't really see any red flags, but given the frequency with which she wants to see me, I wanted to make sure there wasn't something I was missing. Thanks again, Bob. Well, again, the key for this situation is just to be on the lookout. Is there an ex in the background? Because she's coming on to you real strong. It could be the rebound, or maybe you're just fucking a stud. Maybe you're just Chad Thundercock and you had no idea. That's a good situation to be in. So if she's doing all the calling, texting, and pursuing and contact initiation, then all you have to do at this point, because usually this happens 3 or 4 weeks in with most women, but this is happening the first weekend. I mean, he basically did the first date, and after that, she's constantly reaching out. She's calling him for booty calls. But again, we should expect a pullback at some point. But if you just let her do all the contact initiation and you don't break it, if you don't hear from her for a day or two, Because you should expect that. All of a sudden, you might see her 3 days in a row, and she's texting you two or 3 days in a row, and all of a sudden you don't hear a peep for 3 days. And most guys, when that happens, they go, oh, shit, something's wrong. I got to fix this. You don't do anything. But if you don't hear from her for a whole week, then I'd reach out and just try to set the next date. And if there is a guy in the picture, an ex, and then you do get in touch after a week of not hearing from her, you'll probably get some kind of, oh, I'm confused, or oh, things are moving too fast. You hear something like that, just say, hey, no problem. Well, when you miss me terribly, hit me up. I'd love to see you. I gotta run. I'll talk to you later. And then just leave it at that, and then just wait to hear from her. And then when she does reach out, maybe a month later she reaches out. Because again, maybe she started seeing the ex again, and she thought it was going to work this time around. Those things are going to happen. So she's either incredibly insecure, really super duper likes you, or she's on the rebound and there's an ex. So we don't know which one it is yet. But so far, everything looks good. And there's no hiccups, there's no wrinkles, there's no weird things going on. All seems normal. He says she's got a really great relationship with her dad. So keep doing what you're doing, man. So if you got a question or challenge and you want to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com. Click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you guys haven't already signed up for our paying members only content in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or obviously our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, or the link that's in the video description. It'll take you right to the plans tab. And the good news is about our website is you can do a 7-day free trial and check out what members only content you get for your money. You can do a monthly or an annual plan, and with an annual plan, you'll get a 25% discount for paying the whole year up front at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.